Hi, my name is Cody Bear, and my question is directed towards the California Governor candidate, Gavin Newsom. Mr. Newsom, are you familiar with the Senate Bill number 32? Signed by Jerry Brown, this bill would require the State Board to ensure that statewide greenhouse gas emissions are reduced to 40% below the 1990 level by 2030. Our media addresses this bill as the Anti-Flatulence Law. Members of his staff postulated that the Golden State population of dairy cattle were responsible for nearly 60% of methane emissions into the atmosphere. Putting restraints on our agricultural state, who has 1.7 million dairy cattle and 4 million beef cattle, could have serious consequences to our economy due to the restraint and cost of an experimental contraption given the title of a fart pack, pushing our cattle farmers out of state because of our new regulations. Our farmers are threatened by this new bill, for the $50 million set aside will not stand as nearly enough to cover this issue. It appears that there is only one conclusion depicting on how we will have to pay for it. Dairy cattle owners will pay for it. Milk is a top commodity in our state, California being responsible for 1/4 of agriculture foods produced around the world. This Golden State produces more than double the money to the second state, Iowa, bringing in a total of $47 billion in 2015. However, if the new regulation stays in place, the price of dairy products would have to go up just so they can meet this law's new requirements. I would like to quote Michael Botoraco, who states that, "Figuring out how we together get to the reductions the state is looking for becomes the hard part. If our state passes a law that will not only cost a significant amount of money, but affect the lives of thousands of farmers, why do we not have a solid plan to follow through with to meet the requirements that have already been set for the year of 2030? The only hope we have as agriculturalists in the state of California is that it is recognized by 2030 that meeting these regulations isn't feasible, and the cutoff line of 40% of methane emissions can be reduced. It simply isn't that these farmers are against fighting global warming. It is the actions our government has taken to do this isn't completely and economically logical." Gavin, this is your stance posted on your website. We will continue to diversify our energy supply, increasing our output of green alternatives like solar, wind, geothermal, hydro, and ocean-based energy, all the while improving our energy efficiency through stronger green building standards, construction codes, and efficiency standards for electronics and appliances. Does that mean you fully support a bill that doesn't even have a solid plan to meet the 2030 requirements and could potentially threaten our dairy farmers and students like myself that wanted to pursue a career in our growing dairy industry in California? Being an activist and improving education in California and granting equal opportunities among students, are you aware of how this law could potentially threaten the education in agriculture and minimize our young voters' opportunity to pursue a career in California under the dairy cattle industry? Is this something that you support?